What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Unbreakable Mind, where mindfulness gets practical. I'm going to help you make sense of all of this spiritual woo-woo. Maybe you've been reading some books, listening to podcasts with Eckhart Tolle, and just kind of not understanding how you can bring all this stuff into your real world, because it can feel good in the moment while you're listening to it or reading it. But then all of a sudden, how do you put it into practice so that you can start really feeling happy, really start feeling that peace and calm, feeling excited, and just feeling like you're really enjoying your life and moving towards your goals? Okay, so let's talk about understanding who you really are. Who are you really? Okay, because you might be wearing a label right now, right? You might be thinking that you are anxious, and maybe you've even been diagnosed by a doctor. The guy in the white coat labeled you as anxious, or maybe you've been labeled as depressed, or maybe you just think that you're angry. You think you're an angry person. Maybe you think that you're frustrated. Whatever it is, there's a lot of negative emotions that are out there that you might be wearing as a label and kind of just feeling those every day because that's your world. That's your world. You think that you're this or that because you feel it, right? Those feelings are real. You feel those feelings. I'm not denying you that. I'm not denying what's going on in your world by any means. But I want you to understand, kind of what the spiritualists are saying, right? So you've got Deepak Chopra, who says things like, we are pure consciousness, right? We are light, we are love, we are pure energy, we are pure source. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. What does that mean, right? What does that even mean? Because we can intellectualize things, but it's another thing to really internalize it, really feel it, really understand it. And that's something I've been on a journey, really being able to internalize this stuff, where it's like, you're able to separate yourself in a way. So I want to paint a picture for you because, yes, you've been maybe really reactive to people. And, there's just times when people just really make you angry and you just lose your stuff. Maybe in relationships, or maybe you're just feeling really sad every day and you're feeling depressed and you just put on that mask and you just walk out the front door and go to your job and you try to pretend. You try to pretend that everything's okay. But here's the thing I want you to understand, right? How do I know who you really are, right? If you're this pure consciousness, where our true beings are people who are just feeling calm, we feel peace, right? When we are our true selves, who we really are, this pure consciousness thing that we talk about, that means that we're not angry and we're not sad and we're not anxious. So how do you become this thing that these spiritualists are saying you really are, but you're feeling all this? And actually just even understanding like that's who you're supposed to be just makes you more frustrated. How do I know who you really are? Because you were born as a blank slate. All of us were born as a blank slate, where we weren't born depressed. We weren't born anxious. We weren't born sad. We weren't born angry, reactive. We weren't born with all this fear that we didn't think we were good enough to have a certain job, or we weren't born feeling fear where we couldn't feel courageous, right? We weren't born with self-doubt. We weren't born with this image of ourselves where we didn't think that we were enough, where we didn't really love our bodies. We weren't born hating ourselves. That's the reality, right? You, me, everyone around you was born with a blank slate. Then what happened? You learned how to react. You learned how to see the world in a certain way. You learned how to see yourself in a certain way. So the only thing I want you to take away from this video right here, right now, today, because there's plenty more videos that are coming, it's really, you have to understand, it all starts with understanding you. This is a spiritual journey within this realm of understanding yourself. That's all spirituality means right here on my channel. It's understanding yourself. It's this daily awareness of seeing who you are acting like, what you've learned to do, how you've learned to think, how you've learned to speak, how you've learned to react and behave and feel. That's all learned, and I know that can be really scary, but there is a process of change. And I am here to help you. I coach people one-on-one, and I help my clients, I help people all over the world online see and understand themselves and to learn how to think differently with simple things that they can do daily. And the number one thing I want you to do is understand who you are and who you aren't. Understand you've learned all this stuff to just give you a little bit of peace, where you can start being a little bit easier on yourself. Start being just a little bit more patient with yourself, because that's where it all starts. Kind of just, I want you to have this eye-opening moment right here, right now, and kind of understanding that, God, I've learned to be this person. But the good thing is if you've learned to be this person, you can unlearn it. You can unlearn how to be this person. And it really is about simple actions daily. So I'll leave you with that. Post your comments below. I don't want to leave you hanging for too long, but ask me your question so I can keep doing these videos and giving you little bits of information to now internalize. Don't try and take all the steps and do them at once. Just let yourself process this right here, right now, in the next 24 hours. Think about it, all right? Have some good purposeful thought in seeing who you've become, but understand who you really are. All right, until next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.